You can now get a 30-day trial to experience The Athletic for free. Visit the link in the description below to try it now.
Hello, welcome back to Tifo IRL. I'm JJ Bull, and in this video, we're going to talk about Barcelona and how they're going to play under Xavi. Do you remember him? The centre midfielder used to play for them? Well, he's been managing in Qatar for a long time now at Al Sadd, and he is going to be the new coach of Barcelona. How will he make them play? Let's have a look now. So Al Sadd don't have the kind of quality of player that Barcelona have, but they play really nice football. It's really short passing. It's between a 4-3-3 and also 3-4-3. So they change what they have. So it's basically the same thing. 4-3-3 is this. The Busquets is a 6. Move him back here. Suddenly he becomes an extra defender. And again, you've got 4-3-3. Their 4-3-3 has two sort of narrower starting forwards here like this. And a lot of the width comes from the wing backs. But what you see with Al Sadd is lots of underlapping runs. So if this guy were to move out here, he would underlap. Lots of these kind of crosses. So rather than crossing from this position and putting it high into the box like this, the either fullback or the wide player will drive to the line and pull it back for a low ball into the box. Very much like Barcelona used to do. And you see lots of Barcelona in the way that they play. So not only that sort of one example, but lots of short passes. They press, they take 1 or 2 touches. This is the important thing, it's quick, the tempo is quick. The problem with Barcelona for a little while, and we covered this in another Tifo IRL video, is that under Koeman especially, the build-up's been really slow and there's not a high enough tempo to it. Maybe because the players aren't good enough, that could be one of the reasons why, but it allows an opposition team to fall back into a block and deny space, and all the space then tends to be out wide in these sorts of areas. So that then results in lots of crosses going into the box. But Barcelona's play is supposed to expand the pitch, make it as big as possible so you can play through the middle, stretch out these guys so that there's room between the players so that you can do that. And they do that with lots of short passing, switching the play. And so another thing we see with Al Sadd that you'll definitely see at Barcelona now is that they often load one side of the pitch to have one runner on the other side. So say they will break and the team's trying to defend. When you're defending, you want to be more compact usually so that the opposition can't get through you. So let's say the defending team looks like this just now. If we had this sort of setup, so Roberto at right back, maybe Dest playing as a wide right. So one of the things you have at Barcelona just now is they don't really have a strong right-sided player who's either quick or good at dribbling inside the pitch. So Serginho Dest, who is really a wing back or a full back, has been playing in this position. And you might find that's the same thing under Xavi because it gives them the width. And Fati is essentially Lionel Messi on the other side, just right-footed. So rather than coming in from this side and dribbling all through here, he comes off of this side and does the same sort of thing. So Dest is going to be here, and they're going to run and they're going to try and stretch the play as they do. Roberto might push up here, and Memphis will be in amongst here. De Jong will be helping out, Pedri, Busquets. Right, so they're trying to attack like this. Then the centre-backs will push right up because you always play a high line with Garcia and Piqué here. Now, what will happen is Fati might even come along here, and the key is that the wing-back is going to end up, they try often and pull the team to one side. So you see like everyone's kind of being pulled over to this one side of the pitch. Then they just ping short passes, ping, 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 and then the switch comes from someone like De Jong. He'll find this sort of ball for the on-running player. Al Sadd do this often in both the 4-3-3 and the 3-4-3. The shape doesn't really matter, it just gives you different players, gives you more aggressive starting wider players and more cover at the back. But that's one of the things. And then again, he gets in here, plays a short cut back so you get the goal that way. It's not about playing high crosses. Barcelona aren't built for that. The whole point of La Masia is that you don't have to build physical specimens of players. You have players who are technically excellent and you can get around opponents that way. Another thing that you'll definitely see, apart from the increased tempo of passing, probably a higher press, and perhaps more focus on youth. But then, see, the thing is that Koeman's brought a lot of, well, he did bring a lot of the La Masia graduates through. But what you need to do is work out a way to get through these teams when they really block you at the very end. And there's a lot of ways that Al Sadd do it, which is with a quick tempo of passing, lots of runners. So this is important. You can't just pass easy, and you can slowly push the team back up the pitch and stop them from scoring. But if you have people like Pedri making these runs in behind, and you've got runners, he's going to drop into this position here. Again, with Barcelona, it's meant to be certain rules where you have certain players, certain positions, always constant rotations, and La Masia players understand it intrinsically. Often they get players in this final third here, and they've got the opposition kind of backed into a corner and they can't really get out. Now what Barcelona often do is the ball will be wide, because that's where the space is. But what they'll tend to do is pass inside to someone like Fati or Pedri here, and Fati will be looking like this. But as soon as this ball goes into Fati, Alba is going to make this sort of curved run in behind here. So Fati's looking here, defenders are drawn into this, like do you go to him? Does he come in here? What happens? But as soon as he starts making this run, it might go here, and then it pops in behind. You notice this a lot with old Guardiola teams especially, and it's just any managers like Luis Enrique. It's the thing they do at La Masia, is one player plays a pass, it goes to somewhere else because it's a third man run and they get in amongst here to, again, cut it back and score. Lots of Al Sadd goals are this sort of movement, this sort of 1-2 that they often play. Another thing they can do with this sort of 1-2 is if it's Fati here, someone like a striker, this is a common one actually, the striker will often look to run into these positions, just like Alba does there. Oh, there we go. The striker will often look to make these sorts of runs in behind. But what they'll do is they'll fire these sorts of balls. You'll see like this kind of David Silva pass, it's kind of classic. You're moving here, you look like you're going to pass out here, but instead, so rather than you look like you're going to pass here, you don't, you pass in towards where this is, like a reverse ball behind the defender. This guy runs in, but it's all a cunning ruse because he then cuts the ball back to someone into the box who shoots. That's something else that they do. And there's one more thing that I want to talk about that Barcelona do or will do under Xavi, and that is how they do a lot of their set pieces. Because again, they're not big players, they're not like hardy boys who can get in the end of crosses. So let's have a look at the setup for a set piece. So this is a sort of made up version. It's largely borrowed from a goal that Al Sadd scored under Xavi's management, and I think it would apply to how they're going to play here. And it's the sort of things we talked about already, and about the movement and third man runs, short passes, cutbacks, lots of runners. So the free kick here, you think, if it's this is the position here for the free kick. So you put your set piece taker will be Memphis. We'll look over here and look into the box. Now the team they're playing against, can't remember who they were, it doesn't matter. They had 8 players in the box against 3 of Al Sadd / Barcelona. So you get 3 big guys here against 8. They're not going to win that, but they don't know where the ball's going to go. Maybe they're just trying to protect the counter attack, and they're set up around the box, so if the ball gets headed away, they'll be able to control it. But what happens is that Memphis looks like he's going to hit this ball in here, like this, but he doesn't. Instead, he hits it all the way over to Pedri, the equivalent of Pedri over here. So the defense is set up for this. The ball goes over here. Naturally, the defense starts to push out. You want to get your clear your line, make sure your offside line is higher to catch anyone offside. So they start pushing up. But as the ball is played, the equivalent of Ansu Fati has started to make this run. So the ball goes out from here to here. By the time Memphis hits this, he's already started to go. This guy then manages to hit the ball over the top here. It goes through players because they're moving, they're in transition. And this white team leaves gaps. The ball is able to get through like this, the kind of thing you see Barcelona do in the past. Fati gets in the end of it, and then it's just a one-touch cut back, and then there's a goal, someone's in there, maybe a striker is running in as well. Pedri might have been there to score. It's these sorts of things. It's clever movement, trying to deceive the opposition. It's about doing what you're good at. Technical football, like having control of the ball, passing movement, splitting the opposition defences wider by doing those sorts of things, and playing to your strengths, rather than just trying to play some middling defensive or half attacking, half defensive kind of thing that Ronald Koeman was doing for a long time. I think Xavi, if he can apply the same sort of coaching that we've seen at Al Sadd to this Barcelona team, could turn them into something quite special. Maybe I'm totally wrong. We'll soon find out, and then you can come back and leave comments and tell me how wrong I was very soon. Thanks for watching.
Tifo merch, coming to find what you're looking for. Tifo merch, put it on your body and drink out of it. From the grasslands of Australia to the peaks and plains of Antarctica and through the rivers of North America comes a shop of merch that is so damn cool that it's really cool. So cool you have to buy all the merchandise. Buy the merchandise. Come in and buy all our merchandise. Look it right here, there's merchandise, but your merchandise. Gotta get your hands on the merchandise. Buy the merch.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is where the Manchester United reporters revealed the truth behind the club's Jadon Sancho transfer fiasco, where the Tottenham reporters brought you news of Gareth Bale's return before anyone else, where the Chelsea reporters told us 3 days before his sacking that Frank Lampard was on the verge of losing his job. And you can try it now for free for 30 days. See the link in the description.